We had the fires come through and actually go around our whole suburb, but not actually burn any houses, which we now know in hindsight. But at the time, it was so stressful. My son and I received the alert text that said you had to evacuate from your home. And when that message came through, I just became numb and I couldn't think. It's the hardest thing to problem solve and work out what you're going to pack and where you're going to go, and keeping an eye on the cat. And my son's on the spectrum, as am I, so there's some additional kind of stuff going on there as well. But we packed everything up, we got into the car. I popped in on the neighbours and I said, "Where are you guys going?" And one of them said that she was heading down to the beach. So we decided that's what we'd do. And we headed down to the beach and waited, and it got dark. And we could see smoke and flames and explosions not very far away. A friend reached out and said, "You can come and stay here," and we did. We stayed there for a night. But then we ended up going to stay with my son, with his father, for the week. We evacuated for a week because things were familiar to him there. It meant that we could co-parent, which was terrific. We visited some friends when we were driving to North Haven because they were, that's where there was an evacuation centre. And this very good friend of mine who has a son on the spectrum was the four of them were staying in the car because they couldn't go and be around people an awful lot. So I guess it's really important to me that people understand how important it is for carers to be able to continue caring for the people they care for when they're not at home, they're in a completely unfamiliar place, they don't have any of their supports, because a home, for me, is a place that is an environment that I can control, because I'm also on the spectrum, so sensory-wise, everything, the smell of it, the sound of it, the volume, the brightness, but also the social thing. You know, once that front door's shut, I'm in my own zone and I'm surrounded by everything that I need to help me to be calm, like my art materials, etc. But I didn't have access to those things, and neither did my son, because we couldn't go into our home. It's been important to be able to reach out to people and know that they understand how you're feeling or how you still feel. It's very important. You don't have to explain your story, they get it, you know. Next time, in hindsight, to be prepared, to know what we're going to take and to know where we're going to go. But the important papers, they didn't make it with us because my head just wasn't there at that time. You would think that would be a very obvious thing, but it just didn't occur to me. It was kid, cat, stuff from when kids were little, you know, things that we need to entertain ourselves with and calm ourselves with, and let's just go.